Today we're gonna incubate some quail eggs. We've been storing them for about a week. All they do is, these are kind of way overstacked here, but I just keep them in an ice chest like this with an ice pack, and every day we'll switch out the ice pack, and twice a day we flip the eggs, flip the carton, so they're rotating, so that's keeps them from sticking to the shells in any one position. And then now all we will do here is lay them out real quick, and we're gonna give them a quick spraying of it's Listerine and 50% Listerine, 50% water, and it's just it's antibacterial, and it kind of kills off any bacteria that may be on them before you put them in the incubator. That seems to be one of the biggest problems with bacteria in your incubator, and then harming the chicks when they're fresh out of the egg. So we just give them a little quick spritz before we go into the incubator. When we put them in, we always try and keep them the small side down, and then that allows the air bubble at the top. There's a little space in there for them. It's just Listerine and water, and we just give them a little spray, nothing too heavy, but it's great antibacterial. And we'll let those go. I'm not even going to bother floating them. We have a real good success rate of about 70% hatching, which is a good average. So I don't even bother floating the eggs. You can float them and kind of tell if they're fertile or not, but just hasn't been a problem, so I just don't do that step anymore. And this is warm water. Ideally, I would have the incubator already set up and running, but ahead of time. But we were dealing with selling quail today, and it's been a little hectic, and so we're just gonna kind of jump start it using hot water in there instead of having it running ahead of time. We want the incubator at 99. We keep it at 99.5 degrees for the incubation period, and we will leave them in here for 14 days, keeping an eye. The only thing we'll do is we'll keep an eye on the humidity, and keep it. We want the humidity at around 50%, and so we may add water here and there. Otherwise, we pretty much that's it. And we'll 99.5 degrees for 14 days, and then the last day on the 15th day we go into lockdown, which is where we fill it up with water as high as the capacity, the bottom tray. So we want a little extra humidity there at the end before they hatch, and then you don't want to open them up after that, because once they start hatching, there could be a couple days difference between when the first one hatches and your last one hatches. So on that 15th day, we'll go in there and we'll fill up the water to the bottom, and then we'll take out the turners. They don't need to be on the turners anymore, so when they hatch, their feet aren't getting caught up in there, and we'll just lay the eggs on the floor and then close it up, and we won't open it until 70% of the eggs have hatched. They can hatch. The first ones can be in there for we'll leave them in there for up to 3 days, sometimes between the first one hatch. Hopefully it's more like 2 days, but sometimes 3 days between when your first one hatched and your last one hatches. But if you open it up, a slightest change in the humidity will shrink wrap that chick in the egg in that inner layer of these shells. And we learned that the first time. So you don't want to mess with them between that lockdown and you take the eggs out of the tray until the last one's hatch. You just want to kind of let it do its thing. So here we go. We got what do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 28, 38 eggs. So that's in a week, and during the winter time where they've slowed down tremendously, and some of these are still young birds, some young females, so not bad for a week worth of collection. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plug this in. It's already set to be, it'll when I plug it in, it'll warm up to 99.5, and we'll wait there and come back in 15 days when we do the last change for the lockdown, and then we'll get a little video of that, and then after that hopefully we'll get some hatching coverage. All right, till next time.